In Illinois. Go ahead.
Hey there.
Hey.
Hey, Alex, I just want to real quickly say that the Money Bomb was the best program to date, man. Your guests are just top-notch, including Lindsey. I'm too bad he wasn't on that program, but I'm glad he's on today. The question I have for Lindsey is, how does the Fed Reserve Act expiring in 2012 figure in? And did your friend recently mention anything about the BP disaster in the Gulf? Anything new?
Oh, positively. In fact, whenever you call my 800 number, if you wish to get the CD on the BP disaster in the Gulf of Mexico, it's still there. You can ask them for it. I gave an in-depth, over an hour and a half presentation.
I know, but what I'm asking is, what the caller's asking,
the Gulf of Mexico.
What the caller's asking, Lindsey, was there anything new that he gave you on that?
Oh, yes, positively. They have been able to fill that pipe with the drill mud. And they have stopped the leak, but that does not take care of the core exit problem. It does not take care of the oil that's already there. This is going to last for years and years and years to come. They have downplayed this. BP has hired every scientist that went down there to investigate it and has put them on their payroll for years to come in order to keep them quiet. This is a disaster of disasters still, but nobody's even talking about it.
Okay, sorry to interrupt you. We got to go to break. Okay, I want to go to as many of your calls now as quickly as possible. Please, a question or comment for Lindsey-Williams, who's our guest right now, as we've got more stuff we need to go over before he leaves. Kirk in Illinois, anything else? Any other questions?
Yeah, I'm glad you held me over. Lindsey, back 1 year and 2 days ago, you were on this program, and you mentioned that oil within the next 2 years was going to be the same, roughly about the same price. Also, you mentioned that war was planned after 2 years. Now you're saying that they're going to bump that up.
If I remember correctly, Lindsey, it's all on record on his DVDs and on from this radio show. He said, enjoy oil prices. They're not going to go up for at least a year, and go on trips and enjoy yourself, because my source told me after that it's going up, and here we are a year later, it's starting to go up. That's what Lindsey said. Lindsey?
Yes, that's exactly right, Alex. That's what I said. I said it on your program. I recorded it on my DVDs. And now, of course, I am told by this individual that they are ready to bring the price back up to $150 to $200 a barrel, and it'll take place in the near future. You'll see it go back to $4 and $5 a gallon at the gas pump.
Kirk, does that answer your question?
The last one I had was nearly everyone will be a government employee. Could you flesh that out a little more?
Well, he means they're going to control the whole system, so even if you're private sector, you'll be beholden to them and be paying checks one way or another to them. Correct, Lindsey?
Well, let's just take an example, your health care bill. Every doctor, every dentist, every nurse, every hospital, every person that works in the medical profession of any kind will be an employee of the federal government after the health care bill has taken place. That means that every bank is going to likewise, once they bail out this mortgage-backed security problem, every bank, every person that works for a bank, everybody that has a pension fund, you will basically get it from the elite. This is their goal, is to totally control everything. The name of the game is control.
Okay, Kirk, we'll now talk to Howard in Connecticut. Howard, you're on the air. Thanks for holding.
This is Howard.
Yes.
Basically, having been just recently awoken to all this tyranny that's around me, having been blind for so many years, this is like obviously a big, overwhelming thing. Considering the direction that we're going in this country, you know, with all of this tyranny, and it's coming down very quickly, how does somebody that's recently awakened, such as myself, hedge himself, whose house he purchased for cash here in Connecticut in 2005, that went down, lost work, had to mortgage the house, had to lose money in the stock market? How do I, now that I realize all those traps, how can I better prepare myself for this upcoming tyranny for my family?
Well, you know, it's hard enough to analyze the enemy operations, and then it's even harder to analyze an individual who you don't know calling from Connecticut about what your financial situation is, what your local economy's like. I mean, I don't really give people individual financial advice. I tell people what I think's coming, what's going on, what's happening. We have a pretty good track record. But Lindsey, what's your take on that?
My my suggestion is, and I'm not being facetious at all, listen to the Alex Jones Show every single day. Don't you dare miss a single program. Everything he's saying is bringing you up to date as of that minute as to what is happening. And the best way you can prepare yourself and believe what you're hearing, because you're not going to hear the truth from the national media. You listen to InfoWars and Alex Jones every day, and over a period of time, you'll be able to prepare yourself.
I mean, Howard, it's very complex. I don't know all your financial issues, and, I know my financial issues that are, not going in the right direction, and, I'm so busy working that I don't really even carry out the decisions that I've made that are most important. So, I don't know everything, and I'm not omnipresent, so I don't really know what I could say for you to do, Howard. Just, we need to cut taxes. If the globalists cut taxes instead of raising them, that would be the best thing to unstall the economy, and they know that. Okay?
Well, if you'd like to make decisions properly, if you want to know what they're going to do so that you can know what to do next, I plead with you, please get my 6 DVD set. You probably haven't seen it, and the CD that we're producing today on all of this material, plus more that I can't give in an hour and a half. If you'll get these, it'll help you to know what next decision to make.
Well, knowledge is power. I appreciate your call, Howard. We're going to go to break here in a moment and talk to Blake, Sue, David, Mark, and a few others. We've got to hurry through these calls, Lindsey, and then get to any other facets from your source. Any other facets to the issues we've already covered, but a few other issues that we haven't covered. But when you talk about they really want to have war with Iran the next 2 to 3 months, in fact, let me get the exact number here, 3 to 4 months, but then you say, but that's not the big issue, watch Russia and China. Well, if they attack Iran, that is going to be the big issue, at least from my geopolitical and economic perspective. So we'll talk about it on the other side with Lindsey Williams. I'm Alex Jones. This is the one, the only GCN Radio Network, GCNlive.com. We'll be right back. Blake in Texas, you're on the air with Lindsey Williams. Go ahead.
Pastor Williams, I have a question about the person who they're calling the religious leader, that they want to make a world leader of some sort. And I've been doing a lot of research on this individual. I wanted to see if any of your intel happens to correspond with some of the info that I've gathered on this person. Jeannie Dixon, the American seer or prophetess, when she was asked what her most significant prediction was, she didn't say it was the JFK assassination, where she called the White House and warned, or RFK's assassination, where she saw she knew what hotel was going to happen at and the time of day and everything. She said it was the man born on February 5th, 1962. Now, she also said that there would be an individual who came before him, who she characterized as kind of a false prophet of the Antichrist. She said that individual, just like the true prophet, John the Baptist, was born 6 months before Christ, that the false prophet would also be born 6 months before. And if you do the math, it goes back to around August 4th, 1962, if you take in account the location that this individual was born. And she said that individual will become president, et cetera, et cetera.
Okay, we got to move. Hold on. Blake, I want to hear all this, but we got to go quick. So go ahead and make your statement or ask your questions.
Well, I just wanted to see if there was anything like that. Okay, I know that also this individual specifically, his task is to bring about a spiritual experience in people, massive spiritual experience that does not require any sort of human activity, any sort of human effort.
All right, Blake, I'm gonna have to let you go, unfortunately, because I want to hear your question, your comment. Who are you saying this person is? What is your question for Lindsey Williams?
Oh, man.
So you're just not going to even say anything? And he hung up. I mean, it's weird. I've got a guest on. I want the callers to make their point, and then it's like they just keep rolling and rolling and rolling and rolling. And then I just say, who are you talking about, or what are you getting at? And he just laughs and hangs up the phone. It's bizarre. And then I'll be bad. I'll be the Illuminati or something. Yeah, because it's so frustrating. I mean,
Alex, don't worry about it. You're doing such a marvelous job. I don't think anybody's going to question what you're doing.
Well, I mean, specifically, the elite is into the occult. You say you're trying to get your source, former Big 3 oil CEO, to, come to Christ. That's the one issue we haven't talked about, this devil Messiah. Let's talk about that now.
It is so important. The devil's Messiah, you've heard me give it on your program before in depth. I want to just give you one illustration of how they're actually drawing the string right now. Last weekend, my family and I were up in Yavapai County, which is just north of where we live here in Arizona. And I was with a pastor called Pastor Posedley. They've just built a new church building. And Pastor Posedley made pretty good friends with some of the individuals at the Building and Zoning Board. Well, he went back in to take care of all of his final paperwork and details the other day. Now, this is days ago. This didn't happen months ago. This happened days ago. And Pastor Posedley said, Lindsey, you've got to know what this individual said to. He said, in confidence, Pastor, he said, I want to tell you something. He said, Yavapai County has just put in an ordinance stating that if anybody makes a single complaint about your church, they don't like the way your women dress, they don't like the way you sing your singing, we don't care what it is. If any complaint is made about your church to Yavapai County, we have an ordinance now that states that we can come in, padlock the church door, even though you built that building, even though your church owns it, even though it's yours. We have an ordinance stating one complaint, we can padlock your door. You can never hold another worship service there. We have a right to do that. We just want you to be careful so this doesn't happen to you. The elite, I believe, and by the way, they've already put this also into Maricopa County. It was in the newspaper about Mesa, Arizona, just a few days ago in the Arizona Republic. I believe that they're putting in this ordinance probably all across America. And
hold on.
Talked about earlier.
Excuse me.
We'll be able to close these churches down.
Lindsey, specifically, because I didn't know about this, and I want to be able to search it so we can pull it up on screen for prisonplanet.tv viewers. Lindsey, specifically, you're saying they're passing ordinances where counties can shut down churches just outside of any process of law. That sounds like, communist China or something 20 years ago. Where is this happening? Is this confirmed? Give me a search term so I can look this up.
I will talk with your producer after the show today. I'll be more than happy to give him the name of the pastor. He can verify names in Yavapai County, and every bit of it you'll have.
How do you spell that?
If you want it.
How do you spell that county?
I think it's Y-A-V-A-P-A-I. Y-A-V-A-P-A-I. But let me get this correct, and then I'll give it to you.
Okay, where is that?
And
Arizona?
In Arizona.
Okay, guys, search the term.
County.
Search the term for the county ordinance for churches, and I'm sure it'll be in the news, or it may just be being announced there locally, and we'll find out about it soon. But, I mean, Lindsey, specifically, what did he tell you about this religious world leader? You've talked about this before. What's the latest on what he calls the devil's Messiah?
Well, it's a religious control, basically, is what we're talking about. Not only is their program government and political and monetary, such as we've talked about in the mortgage crisis and so on, they definitely have what was referred to me back about 2 years ago, devil's Messiah. And as a result, I did an entire section on it on one of your programs one day, how they're working through 501c3 organizational status with churches, how that it also is in our schools, what they're doing with introducing evolution years ago. Every bit of this is a part of that total. Okay, basically, here's the way he put it. He said we had to remove the God that America was founded on from society in order to bring about our new world order. That was their statement.
And that's how the devil would do it. We see the World Council of Churches, the National Council of Churches, openly funded by Carnegie, Ford, and Rockefeller foundations. They go in, and now all the big churches, Catholic, a lot of Baptist, Methodist, Bill Gates is good, eugenics is good, open borders is good, the family's bad. They are turning these into devilish propaganda arms. And folks, the devil isn't going to show up in a red pajamas like Anton LaVey with a little black goatee. The devil comes as an angel of light. And whether you believe in God or not, the UN and everybody else at the global level has announced they want a one-world religion. The Pope has announced they want a one-world religion, the last one. And this is the system that is being pushed, where they come at you with this world religion.